All right. Welcome to episode 112 of Those Millennials podcast. Today I'm your humble, thankful, grateful host, KTheClassless. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. Rell's here, looking all upset. Rell, what's going on, man? How's your mental health? How's your pockets? How's your vibe on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend? Come on, man. It's Memorial Day weekend. You can't have that face, man. What's up? What's up? Wow. Jesse's here. Jesse, how you doing today, man? How's your pockets? How's your mental health? How are you doing on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend, brother? Nothing again?
Jesse froze.
Oh my God. All right, we're joined by the people's favorite guest. This is going great. What a great start to this pod. We're joined by the people's favorite guest. Clips, how you doing on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend? How's your mental? How's your pockets?
I'm good, man. Finally, a 3-day weekend. Mental, I feel like I'm at an 8. I think being at I'm at an 8. It's just been a lot going on. But other than that, pockets is good. You know, happy, making things happen. So I can't complain.
That's what I like to.
Rell, you want to try again to answer
instead of just staring at the camera? Oh, by the way, this is Those Millennials podcast and YouTube show. I forgot that I have to add that now in the beginning of the show because some people are still confused that this is also a YouTube show as well. Rell, how are you doing today, brother? You just not gonna speak?
I'm Gucci, man. I'm Gucci. My mic was off the first time. Yeah, my mic was. I was having technical.
We starting off with lies. We're starting off with lies. I love it. All right. So while Jesse while Jesse gets his setup, I would like to. Jesse, you good? You back? We back?
Yeah, I don't know why it was glitching and shit, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Jesse's here. So first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that has listened and watched our show. The numbers of the pod have really been seeing the edging up. We've seen the boost in listens and watches on YouTube and on the DSP. So we appreciate you guys for checking us out. Thank you for giving us a chance. We rock with you guys and
awesome. Congrats, fellas. Congrats.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. And you know who else is working on Memorial Day weekend? Let's start there. What other podcast is working on Memorial Day week? All these niggas on vacations. We out here grinding, getting ready for a big Game 7 between the Celtics and the Heat. Real quick before we talk about that for a little bit off the top. Bet update. Jesse's still winning with 10 points. For those, let me start off by saying. So those who haven't, who need to catch up. So we have a gentleman's bet between us three, with where the winner of the gentleman's bet, whoever picks the best out of the NBA playoffs, the two losers are gonna have to wear a shirt on the YouTube show that the winner picks for us, and we're gonna have to wear it through the whole episode.
Oh yeah.
So currently, right now, Jesse's winning by 2 points. He has 10 points. Rell and I are tied, thank God, because I was the only one to pick the Mavs in 7 over the freaking Phoenix Suns. Thank God. So we're all caught. Me and Rell are tied.
Even though you changed the point system, I should have more points.
For the finals, we can change the point system so we can make it better. For the finals, we'll change the point system. We'll boost it. We'll boost it up. So right now, that's where we stand. We got a Game 7. I think we all picked Boston. So I don't think, no matter what the outcome is, I think we're gonna be. I think we all picked Boston, unless one of us picked the Heat.
I could have sworn I picked Miami. I picked Miami.
Oh, both of y'all about to lose then. Great. So if the
but I said 7 games, so I still get a point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you still get a point. We'll figure out the point system from there. All right, so real quick, obviously we're recording this on Sunday. On long weekends, I always forget what day it is. But we're recording this on a Sunday before Game 7. But real quick, let's talk about the game. The Boston Celtics completely. Do we want to call that a choke for Game 6? What are we calling that?
I mean,
nobody wants to.
I wouldn't call it a choke.
It's been so lopsided.
It's been crazy.
It's been a bad series.
The most boring series of all of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it a buck. So I got hot takes for right now. So let's keep it a buck. The bubble fucking season playoffs was better than this playoffs, right? Let's keep it a bean.
Facts.
Overall.
Overall.
Easily.
Okay.
Yeah. overall.
Like,
Yeah,
what are we
These
talking about?
playoffs haven't been that good, even though the ratings. I think the ratings are reflective.
The ratings are up.
Ratings are reflective of the areas.
I was ready to come in here and ratings kill this season.
No,
these
but
playoffs too. But
I
the
think
ratings are up.
that there are great areas like San Francisco's a great area. Boston's a big sports media. Florida, I think all of Florida roots for Miami, the Heat, and then you got Luka Doncic, who's just a star.
They can't root for Orlando.
Yeah. But Luka Doncic is just a star. So I just think that I think the markets have attributed to the ratings, but I don't think these playoffs have been great though.
Like there's been two really good series out of all of the playoffs, even round one, even the fucking play-ins. If you want to count the play-ins too, it's been two good series, and that's it. Memphis
Timberwolves, one of them.
Yeah.
That one was weird, but if you want to call that one was a little I would much rather say the Mavs and Phoenix counts as one for me. Like that's
Game 7 was such a disappointment though. Like when Game 7s are a disappointment.
I don't even think but Game 7 wasn't just a disappointment. The Game 7 wasn't just a disappointment. There was so many blowouts in that series.
There was.
So
if we're just saying Milwaukee and Boston, which was an awesome series, which I think Milwaukee would have won if they had Middleton, right? So like we put that over there, and then I don't think this Boston series and Heat series hasn't been that great. That have been all blowouts except like this last game. Both of the Heat games were kind of close, but they don't
feel and they just don't feel fun to watch.
They don't.
That's the worst part about it.
Y'all think it is a testament to
Golden State in Memphis was straight, right? Like for a little bit, they were straight. That was a fun series for a while. But like other than that, it's been blah. So like anybody that's talking shit about the bubble, huh?
What were you gonna say, Clips?
No, I was saying, do you think that the regular season and how intense everybody was playing during the regular season messed up the playoffs? Because you've seen a team like Golden State, they didn't have to play at such a high rate. They just played to get into the playoffs and then turned it on when they got into the playoffs.
Right.
They started so strong and it helped them jump out to such a large lead that it was like then they was able to just maintain.
Right.
Oh, for sure. But look at the Suns. The Suns wrecked the whole league for all of those games, and then by the time playoffs came, they were burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's the bubbles.
They're gonna make a 30 for 30 about what happened to that Phoenix Suns team, man. Like we need answers.
If they haven't made a 30 for 30 for all of Charles Barkley's losses, they ain't making a 30 for 30 for that team.
That's facts. That's true.
Here's what I would say: they're gonna have to do something. It's so weird.
This mid-season tournament thing is coming. They are. Adam Silver is not stepping off the gas pedal with this fucking mid-season tournament thing that they got going on.
They have to do something because that players. Oh, me?
I said I was muted.
No, but go ahead, Jesse.
I was gonna say because it's either a team like Phoenix is gonna, and the same thing happened to the Milwaukee Bucks back then when they won all those games. Remember the Hawks when they were winning all those games to get swept.
We always bring up Atlanta for that. It's funny.
No, I'm just it's making a point. And even LeBron, those LeBron teams with the Cavs where they were winning all those games, getting the best record in the league, and then flaming out in the playoffs, or come to find out they're not as good. Like there was no playoffs. Like even when Phoenix was playing New Orleans, right? They didn't look like this world beater. Like they didn't. I know they lost. It took 6
games. It took 6 games.
And I know they lost Devin Booker, but it showed like how you can take Chris Paul out of games. Like, and once you do that, that kind of messes up the whole rhythm. They're supposed to be a world beater. They're supposed to be this deep of a team, and it's one of those things where it was like, is the regular season, and once a team does that, we saw that with Milwaukee, we see it with LeBron teams, we've seen it now the Phoenix Suns. Now they're going to learn we don't have to win all these damn games. It's just going to matter about the playoffs. So now
the home court in the West next year is going to be a real life thing, and we'll probably talk more about that during the offseason because there's like a million, and then I'm not even exaggerating. There's like 20 storylines with offseason shit.
If Golden State wins these finals,
go ahead, Clips. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, but that's just a testament to what the landscape is, right? I'm only playing you one time in regular season. Now that I'm playing you arguably 4 times, yeah, it should. I better get figured out in at least 3 games. You better know that you can push me in some type of direction. But remember, the only thing that's ever
even
changed,
smart teams take that. That's the crazy thing about the playoffs. Even smart teams make decisions. Like I was joking with shout out to Dustin. I was talking to Gab, his girl, about this on their pod a while ago when they were talking about where I was just like, suppose like arguably top 1, top 2 coaches in the NBA right now. And this was early in the series. I was like, why the fuck is he still playing Dwayne Dedmon? Like, I can see it from a mile away, and I'm just some dude that just watches basketball, pays attention to analytics. I was just like, why is Dwayne Dedmon still out there? Every time and then, again, it just, I know you guys don't like numbers like that, but I like, his on-off was so, it was obvious. It was just like, don't play this guy, and you guys won't suck as much. Because every time he came in the game, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about when he was playing Oladipo last series, where it was like Oladipo was
they
not
need him in this series, but I agree with that.
This one.
I like
They need him in this series. They need him in this series, but like they were playing Dedmon. Like again, I know Bam Adebayo. Like I know again, you need a break. Whatever, you can't play the whole. You can't play 48. I understand, but like
facts.
Choose somebody else. Make PJ play 5, which he eventually figured out. Which is like PJ has to play the other 5. Like, don't play Dedmon because literally he was a dead man out there.
At this point, he should. Adebayo should play 48 today.
48.
Like he just got.
I don't want to hear nothing about tired. Y'all got how many days into the finals, and then we can end this, and then because I didn't expect us to talk about this too long, but it's fine. But like the finals officially start June 2nd, I think what was the ad say. So it's like Wednesday or something like that.
It's always June 2nd.
Thursday.
So it starts out. Okay, so it starts on a Thursday. Like there's plenty of time for recovery, and I don't know. We're recording this before the game starts, so we don't know what's gonna happen with Tyler Hero. Part of me says they don't really miss him because it gives Boston a place to attack, but they need the offense. And nobody expects Jimmy to drop another 47 bomb on these niggas' heads, but we'll see. But yeah, so pick winners, everybody. Before we're gonna sound like idiots afterwards, or we're gonna sound great. So everybody pick winners. Clip, start with you. Who are we picking before we see it again? Who we got tonight?
Yeah, why you pick me first? I was really hoping that Rell got picked first, but fuck. Defensive mindset. And I'm only opening it up with this way because the only thing that has ever changed in basketball has been offense. Defense has always remained the same. You haven't seen any new techniques and new ways to stop and stay in front. If
anything, it got worse.
I think
it's gotten harder.
No, it for sure got lazy. Like you're 100% right about that. But I think due to turnovers, I want to say the Heat will capitalize on this game because the Celtics can't keep the ball. And Eric Spoelstra, I think, is better. Yeah, I think he's definitely better at firing his team up to play defense than he is to play offense because he knows that on a random night, Duncan Robinson can give you 9 threes.
Okay.
And I think their defense is a testament to how they got to where they're at. So I want to go with the Heat for their defense and knowing that if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum get frustrated and they're giving turnovers, that the Heat can capitalize on it. That's the only reason I'm looking at it.
Who you got tonight?
I'm gonna go with Miami, even though Heat culture is just
Are you going Miami so you can for your pick's sake, for your bet's sake, or are you going Miami because you think that's who's going to win?
Both, because last thing I want is a Warriors Celtics finals because it's like I'm probably just going to end up punching my fucking TV if I see the Celtics get a championship or the Warriors get another championship. So I'm going with the Heat because I hate the other two teams. So he, even though he culture is just, I
don't think that he can beat the Warriors. so
they can
either way.
I'm just hoping for injuries at that point, but But I mean, but at the end of the day, I just think that Heat culture is just bullshit. Stop trying to come in and sign a bunch of G League guys and make them skinny. Talk about Heat culture. Stop signing. You sign 3 G League guys, you make them skinny, and
that's not what Heat culture is, man.
Yeah,
Spoken like a true person that doesn't believe in Heat culture, but whatever. Anyway, Jessie, who you got?
I believe in the ham culture.
We'll talk about that in another episode.
It's gonna be the team that the 3 ball travels. That's what it's.
Get off the fence, Jessie. Make a pick, nigga.
I never agree with Rell. What the hell was that?
If their 3 ball travels, if they are hitting threes, the Celtics will win that game. That's what I'm trying to say. But the Celtics have shown that they can go ice cold, and they're on the road. If they don't hit threes, if they don't hit 10 threes in that first quarter, they lose. Heat win. So I'm going with Heat.
At 10 in the first quarter?
Damn,
dude, why do you have to make 10 threes in the first quarter?
But that's what they do. Like, that's how they've been blowing them out. They haven't been blowing them. They really haven't been blowing them out by this, like, oh, we're dominant. They've been hitting threes. Like, that's it. And that's what's been keeping this separation in these games. It's just the Celtics will hit a bunch of threes at the beginning, and then they can't come. And then you're playing from the behind. You're playing 20 down by the halftime for the rest of the game.
10 threes in one quarter in the first specifically? That is insane.
But you know they're going to shoot them. You know they're going to shoot 15. You know that they're going to shoot 15.
I tell you what,
Tatum alone
out of those,
is going to shoot 7.
So himself. and then I'll do my answer real quick, and I'll just piggyback off what Jessie said. So 10 is kind of extreme, but if you said when you say shoot or make 10 for 3-pointers,
I think they need to make them.
Make 10.
Okay. All right, fine. 10 in the first half. 10 in the first half.
All right. Okay. I'll give you that. 10 in the first half.
Okay. So
but we know they're gonna shoot like Heat, 25.
So if 10 threes in the 10 threes in the first half, right? If Derek White is shooting 6 of them, I think the Heat win.
Exactly.
If you get them from JT,
the corner,
Jalen, depends. Derek White hit 5 threes last game.
Yeah, and that's what. And Rell, what's your favorite saying about what's your favorite saying?
Happy birthday.
Happy fucking birthday, Derek White.
Happy birthday, Derek White.
If it's coming from JT and Jalen, then I think it's a different story. But I'm with Rell. I don't particularly want another Warriors Celtics finals because either way,
we never got one before.
I don't want. I didn't mean it like that. I don't want a finals because it's a lose-lose because, again, y'all know I'm a LeBron fan. There's already talks about Steph being on the same level as LeBron, which people need to fucking lax. And then the Celtics win. And then the Celtics winning another title is just, we don't want that to happen. But that's the story for now. Wait, y'all niggas. Anyway, and we're supposed to talk music on the spot.
Okay, no. Here's what I would say. There was always this.
Jessie,
LeBron dominates headlines.
I will not even tolerate this conversation.
If all is said and done after LeBron's career, and somebody ends up with more rings than he did in that same span, or even after him, he can't because Steph came after him and built up his career after him.
What is happening?
I think people will make the argument like, is he better? Is he better than LeBron?
No.
No, nobody's saying he's better than LeBron. I'm just.
That's what people are saying. That's what the conversation is.
Mr. Robertson. No, because there's one thing that Mr. Curry does not do and will never do. He don't play no fucking defense.
Well, no, I'm not saying he'll be better. I'm not saying he's better than him.
He don't get targeted, but
bro, if he gets 4 rings, I'm still not looking at his dominance as him being better than Braun. He don't have no dominance. He's just like all he did was change the dynamic of the game where if you shoot a 3, you are the fucking person.
Okay, so let me ask this question.
So Space got okay. Well, I want to put. So ask your question, then I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna put this in a bow. Go ahead.
All right, let me ask this question. Okay. All right. So great winners, right? Great champions. LeBron is going to go down as a great player, right? Unstoppable force.
One of the greatest players ever. Arguably the greatest
player.
player.
Yes, champion too.
And he's going to be that one that's going to be one of one. Then there's a guy in Steph Curry who has literally changed the dynamic of the game, where shooting threes is now more important than anything else. And so, if we want to make a comparison to people that have done this before, right? I
can't believe this.
Shaq is one of one and had a great career.
Nobody's arguing. He's changing the conversation.
Hold on. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of one. Sure. Amazing career.
Glenn Baby Davis is a
There's
one of one.
Michael Jordan, who literally has changed the game and made people want to be like Mike. There is nobody that wants to be like LeBron, but yet the game changed to be like Steph. That's all I'm saying.
Because it's easier to be like Steph. What is happening? What did he just? If that was just the biggest goalpost moving thing I've ever heard in my, what just happened right now?
I'm not saying that he's better. He's going to go down better than LeBron. No, it's impossible. He's not going to be better than LeBron. All I'm saying is, he is going to have as much say as this time LeBron was running the game.
So that's what I was going to say.
Going to be.
So that's how I was going to wrap the bow on this. And then, like I said, we can move on to the real topic because I can't believe you did this, Jessie. But anyway, all
right, we don't want to have like an actual conversation.
No, we're having a conversation
on the game.
I agree with that. I agree wholeheartedly with that.
Okay then.
I might do this after I do my KD love letter, by the way, and we'll figure it out from there. So, like, I think the difference between Bron and Steph is basically the difference between good organization and bad organizations.
What it's down to.
I think LeBron saw the writings on the wall in Cleveland that they weren't willing to do enough. Jumped to the Heat, saw a good opportunity, won there, saw that they didn't want to spend anymore, then went back to Cleveland when they had the moving parts. The Warriors they spend the most luxury tax in the world. Them and the Nets. Like, it's just good organization. They made the right moves. They're in luxury tax hell.
Hold on.
They're in luxury tax hell.
But hold on.
And other teams are not willing to spend like that.
But hold on. What did the Warriors do? They risked tanking, not even tanking. They lost 2 years of their best players, right? And they're in the prime of their career. LeBron, saying that LeBron was not willing to sit there and let the Heat rebuild is LeBron's fault. That's a great organization. He left.
He was right.
That sound like a pat, right?
No, but so all right, let me ask you a question. What's the better organization that he has gone to since? This is not even like he made a bad decision.
That I agree with. Notice how I haven't brought up the Lakers thing. But
take a step back and he knew that.
Because Steph went to a perfect organization that was willing to spend the best.
And we're saying that he
by far the best. What's the word I'm looking for? The best way for you to win is if your owner in your organization is willing to spend money. The best advantage. That's what I was gonna say. The best advantage in sports is especially if you're in a market like that, if your owner is willing to spend money.
You know that's not true because everything does evolve around luck. They got lucky with the injury and that first deal and the draft picks.
I agree with that
because the Lakers are the best organization in all of basketball, and
not today.
It's just all about luck, and we were back.
That's true. Space.
The Sixers. Oh no,
that's true. Space G. That's true. Space G.
But I'm just saying. But I mean, we can wrap on this.
I'll put a bow on this. So if Steph wins, then honestly, to be honest with you, I think whoever comes out of the East is gonna get beat by the Warriors anyway, because I think they got their stride and everything. They figured everything out. They figured out the pool lineups. They figured out Wiggins. They figured it out. If Steph wins when he wins this title, and if he wins the final MVP, I think it's more acceptable for people that say that the LeBron era, for when it started with, I mean, we can say the LeBron, in my opinion, I think the LeBron era started like 08, 09 in that area.
Why do you disrespect Kobe? Why do you disrespect Kobe?
I'm just look, that's what I think.
The era started while Kobe was winning championships. Cool. All right.
I don't think an era means championship.
Yeah, it doesn't mean. It just means.
Yeah,
exactly.
So Space G says 03, but I said like 08. I said 2000. No, I'm not saying 03. I'm gonna say like 08, like around that range. But like, if he wins another title, you can say similar to the Magic Bird era that the era after the 2010s is the LeBron Warriors era because it's not just LeBron and Steph. It's not. It's LeBron in the Warriors era, and I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. All right,
Jesse, you stop it right now, sir. You stop it.
We can talk about this for hours, man. You know, Rell got a solo file. We can talk about.
You're also disrespecting the Spurs. You're also disrespecting the Spurs.
No, they had their time. They're a dynasty.
Kobe, and you
they had a dynasty.
The Spurs.
I didn't disrespect the Spurs. I said this is their era. That's just what are you talking about? So Michael Jordan
during that time.
So when the Rockets won their
time, the Magic won during that time.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of people who won during that time.
Other people can win during other people's era. That happens. This is the Giannis era, and other people are going to win the titles. All right. So that was a long digress that I just thought we were just going to make picks, but thanks a lot. Hey, no, but I appreciate that because now I know that Jesse. We can after the finals we can talk about that because that's actually a good topic. And then we'll have further context because we'll know if Steph won and won finals MVP. We'll know instead of wondering.
Hey, Kev. No, Kev. When you win the contest, what shirt you gonna make Jesse specifically wear?
I know. I'm figuring it out. Now I'm gonna make him wear some bullshit.
Yeah, maybe Jesse needs to wear the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
Rell has been.
So Rell made
good.
a good point. Like, no, I always say this. Me and Rell don't agree with a whole lot of shit, but he made a good point. Luck is definitely involved, but the organization is very, very important too. And LeBron saw the writing on the wall. Niggas,
every organization. Luck and health is every organization.
100%. All right, so we're here to talk about music, but before we talk about music, I forgot to mention at the top.
I'll do the finals MVP
right now. Oh, Steph. They got Steph's going to get
finals MVP. Steph.
Or wait, are you trying to say Eastern Conference Finals?
Oh, the Bill Russell role. It would be perfect if a Miami Heat player win it. Anyway,
not the Bill Russell.
Jimmy Butler's been by far. By the way, Jimmy Butler's been the best player in the playoffs by far. Anyway, first and foremost, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. By far. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. I was going to start off at the top with that, but we got so sidetracked. Everybody knows. He died at 67. We found out about the news about that. So I want to send thoughts, prayers, condolences, and to his friends and his friends and family. All right, so we're gonna talk about music. We're gonna talk it more broad. We wanted to come in here and if we're gonna pull back the curtain, we're trying to do this pod a week after the Kendrick Lamar drop, so we can sit with it for a week because I feel like everybody needs to sit with that album. We all felt like it was appropriate not to just come here the day after and just talk about what we directly heard, and we wanted to sit with it for now. It's been like 3 weeks, right? It dropped like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, just about. Okay. Yeah,
it dropped like 3 weeks ago, so now everybody's had a time to like sit and compare it to other drops. And we're also going to talk about, since it's the halfway point anyway of the year, we're going to talk about the first half. So yeah, Jesse, you can take it away from here. So like, where do you guys want to start as far as talking about this first half of music, or would you want to talk directly about the Kendrick album?
I mean, since we spent so much time on sports or basketball, let's just go straight into the Kendrick. My questions: what are the standout songs to everybody? What the themes that he was speaking on? How does it feel to hear Kendrick Lamar after all these years that have passed? And
well, let me get my stats off real quick. Let me get some stats off. So I got first week numbers for the Mr. Morrow and the Big Steppers. So the first week it did 286,000 in his first week, which is pretty good, pretty solid. For comparison's sake, I also wrote down the numbers for Future's album I Never Liked You, which is around the 200,000 mark. So it's still in the same realm. And then for further, I like stats. For further comparison sets, the off season, which came out last year, obviously, which we're not comparing these two albums. That's what I'm not allowing that to happen on this pod. We're not comparing the off season and Mr. Moore and the Big Steppers. That's what we're not doing on this pod today.
Do it.
Huh?
I was saying, make sure Rell doesn't do it.
What's Rell got grin on his face?
I think we'd actually be. I think I know where Rell would actually. What side?
Oh yeah, I agree with that too. Actually, and the crazy thing is we haven't. I appreciate this. None of us has like talked about the album together. I don't know Rell's opinion on the album. I don't know Jessie. I don't know your opinion. Clips. I don't know your opinion on the album either. So I spewed all those stats right now, and whoa, so the off season got 288,000 the week it came out. I did all these stats and I realized that all this first week shit don't mean shit because I looked at those are all heavy hitters. We talk about Dot, Future, Cole, and then that light skinned dude from Canada. I did a comparison his album for that awful album, Certified Lover Boy, and it was at 600,000 range, which is telling me you got to get the girls to listen, bro. You got to get the women to listen.
I mean, that's all. You
got to get the girlies to listen, man.
That's what it's always been. That's what it's
you got to get you got to get the girlies to listen. So yeah, so standout album, standout tracks. But real quick, so before we get into serious digging into deeper everybody's favorite tracks, I wanted to ask y'all: have y'all ever taken the car keys from y'all girl during an argument?
Yeah.
Hey, no,
it took Clips a minute to get what I was talking about. Come on, let's talk. We can't talk about how toxic K Dot was.
I have never done that, but
it's 4 black men on this pod. We gonna act like we never done that.
I have a homie who's told me a story about him and his girl mid traffic. She and him was in an argument, and he's driving a car. Okay. And she pulls the keys out of ignition, everything. Just middle of the car argument. While the car was on.
I've been there.
So
what?
I have friends who have been in that. I've never taken the keys. It just was not that important to me. like I've taken a phone.
Nah, Clips with my friend.
I swear to you, my friend, my boy, friend. like dead ass.
Jesse, what toxic women do you fuck with? So we just gonna act like we all mature ass men. Like we're all 4. There's 4 black men here. We all can't be Russell Wilson. Like let's keep it a beam.
Oh, no.
We're all not Russell Wilson.
Talking about here.
I've done different toxic shit.
Yeah, I just said that. I've
done different toxic shit.
I've been a part of toxic relationships.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I want transparency.
Y'all have seen what's happened to me. So
true. Rell being mighty quiet. This is pissing me off. This thing coming here talk about transparency.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been drinking water today.
I've never snatched somebody's keys. I usually ask them to leave. So I mean,
I've never had to snatch car keys from somebody.
No. But, I mean,
so you never told a woman, today will be the day you fucking walk to that fucking job today.
I've never been like
no, I've never had to do that
because I've never been like. I mean, I've had arguments like that song, but I mean, also that song is from if you've seen Poetic Justice. Once you've heard that "fuck you nigga," that "fuck you bitch," when when they were in Tupac was talking to Janet Jackson, in Poetic Justice, that part is the part that they sampled on that part, but that's when they were going back and forth. So that I'm not gonna say I'm not for that whole, how they disagree, but yeah, we've all been there. Shit, toxic relationship.
Yeah, I mean, As a young man who learned how to do wild, crazy things from a movie called Waiting to Exhale,
okay,
throwing clothes out the house.
Okay,
as Martin said, get to stepping.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez, shit,
I ain't never burned no house down. Hold on, kid.
Okay, all right.
She ain't not burn no J's. No.
By the way, it was Left Eye's birthday last week. Oh my gosh, she was so fun. Anyway, so anybody want to talk about standout tracks real quick?
Yeah,
off the top.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
Rell.
I mean, the first rip through. I mean, when I first listened to,
how many listens are you on? Let's start there. My bad. How many listens are you on right at this point? Too many?
It's been a lot. Okay. I mean, I would say this, and I after the first couple listens, I was kind of like, I want to get away from the album because I realized like Twitter and like on social media, like it kind of like, I don't know, everybody throws their
taint your opinion.
Where it's at. So I'm just
everybody I kind of posting their shit, right?
I kind of just stayed away, and like even if I find a song I like, I'll post a song that I like. But for me to really understand, like, but it took me a while. Like I think like the album, the songs that's done like in 95.
Let's do everybody do it. Let's everybody. Oh well, I guess you can talk about how many you want.
Let him go. Cap.
Yeah.
Let him talk.
Yeah. Let's go.
N95 stands out to me. I think it's probably like, but I also think, just N95, Crown, Savior. Like I could tell like three things that I took away from this album. Like I said, I think there's a heavy influence of like Kanye on this album. I think Kanye is an influence on this album. This was just the whole vibe, which is just a Don. I mean, everybody talks about like, how Kanye makes Christian music, but then like, you got Kendrick Lamar with the Jesus Reef and a pistol in his back pocket. But only blasphemy only works when it's for Kanye and people want to talk shit about it because he's blasphemizing everything that he does on this cover. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he has a fucking strap and the Jesus Reef. And then on the whole album, he talks about how he's not your savior while, by having a video with him floating on water. Like, come on now. Like, let's not.
That was a different song though, right?
N95 is a video, but him and Dave V did the video together, but he's floating on water. But I'm just saying, like, everybody talks shit about Kanye. Oh, he makes Christian music, but then his whole damn album is
Terrell will find a way,
God.
boy.
This whole album is about, he's talking about God and his relationship with it. No, I'm just telling you, there's an influence on him because who influenced King was Kanye. And if you listen to King, this whole album is influenced by King, even with the sounds. Like he has album tracks where he's not even rapping on it; he's just harmonizing on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like literally 4 sections of harmonization on a full Crown. It's just nothing but even that's not even a rap on it; just the harmonization. So, and the production, not to mention, is out of this world. But I think to me overall, I think this album is his For Your Eyes Only. It's one of my favorites. I think this is most personal. I don't think Cole became personal until he put out For Your Eyes Only. And I believe everything Kendrick put up to this was good, but I believe that this is his For Your Eyes Only because he never cracked the door like this. And I mean, even the song that he has, Mother I Sober or something like that. That's a very personal song. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that this is his For Your Eyes Only album, and I think this is the most personal he's got on it now. But I just think overall, personal. I mean, so shout out to Space God. He said Good Kid, Mad City, but Good Kid, Mad City was also shot from. He rapped it from perspective. You know what I'm saying? He also like everything was from perspective. Like the conversation was from his mom to his homeboy. You know, I mean, I don't know if these are. I can't confirm if who Shireen was or who it wasn't, but it seemed like a movie to me. Like even when you listen to the first song with the nigga playing, when he said, it sounded like a film being open. He says, "More God, I come to you." That feels like a movie. This feels like a personal interlude to his life, and I don't know. I really like it. So I personally gave it 9 out of 10.
I like that. Clips. Standout tracks.
Oh, man.
How'd you listen? How many listens are you on?
I'm maybe like 5-6 listens from it. I mean, and I'm saying top to bottom, not necessarily like picking around songs.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to point out before I even pick any songs, one thing that I like is that Kodak Black is to Kendrick what 21 is to J. Cole.
Yep.
I think that shit is fire. Because if you think about like Kendrick and Cole kind of around the same time really became like household names, and then 21 and Kodak are in the same XL class, right? So I think that's pretty dope. And seeing lyricists give
so who's
guys
Drake's?
who are not
just not to be funny. Who's Drake's? I'm just kidding. Keep going.
Well, Drake is a wave writer, so his changes everything.
That's
I was like,
100. That is actually a good one. Yeah, 100%. That's a good
Little
one. Keep
Baby
going.
right now? Isn't it a Little Baby right now? Or is it gonna right now?
It might be Jack Harlow right now. It might be Jack Harlow.
Who knows?
You giving Jack Harlow too much credit.
They've been seen everywhere, brother.
So one thing, or back to Kendrick. So I think like standout songs for me, I love Rich Spirit. That's like one of my favorites on it. I will tell you, when I first listened to the album, I didn't know how much I needed to hear United in Grief. Like it was weird to hear it the first time around, and it was just speaking to me. I was like, damn, I didn't realize I needed to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, a lot of the same songs that Rell has already pointed out. Even Purple Hearts is dope to me just because anytime you get a legend, you know, to be on your track like that, I think it's always cool. And to just speak about the testament of what Kendrick was trying to do, I think it was more, not necessarily that he was making it more personal, but I think we got to dive into where has he been, you know, in the last 5 years? What's really been going on with him emotionally, and what's really been affecting the reason why he didn't feel inspired to make music. So one thing, it's funny, I was talking to somebody in a barbershop, and they were like, the reason I didn't like the album was because I felt like he sonically was trying to make it sound like more spoken word than he was rapping. And I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's the first critique I've ever heard that wasn't like, it wasn't at like a negative critique, right? But it was like that's not what they wanted in it from. Yeah, so I thought that was tight to hear. But for him, I really feel like we got to dive into Kendrick just wants to be a regular human like everybody else. He don't want all the stardom and all that to persuade you to think that he don't go through anything. A lot of the times everybody wants to give you the glitz and the glamour and just be like, yo, I'm popping, this is what's happening. But I think he came from a truth that, you know, he wants to live in and that he wants to reveal. Like, not every artist is going to pull the curtain and be like, this is what's really going on. And I love the fact that he even got to, you know, talk about things that hurt him. Like when Nip passed away, you know, everybody was expecting Kendrick to say something. And we didn't really get anything from Kendrick until like now, really, of like where his mindset was and how he was feeling about it, you know? And I think that this album is one of his more important albums for him as an artist to do what he wants creatively. Like, a lot of times everybody wants you to do a specific type of album a specific way. Yes, he didn't have like club bangers, or he didn't have all that shit that you just gonna bang in a car crazy. But I think his unique perspective on how he's evolved was showcased in that album. And I think for him, that's what you need enough of. You need him to just be like, this is why I've been gone. Not necessarily why you need to listen to my shit, but this is what everything I've been going through. And again, shit, the stuff he was going with his chick, I think that's perfect, especially in high toxic times, right? You need somebody to openly admit and talk about, hey, I didn't get it right the first time, but I'm working on myself enough to fix it. And then I think Auntie's Diaries is probably one of the more important songs like in this era. I was
about to say that. Nobody brought up Auntie's Diaries yet.
Yeah, I think it's very important, you know, with the Black heterosexual cisgender community, being able to look at femininity is not as a weakness, but as something that, you know, is around you. And I think he takes a lot of a time to talk about growing up and being around women a lot, and then the negative things that, you know, his dad was pushing and imposing on him, to understand that when I was young and impressionable, I thought all of these things were this. Now I'm old enough to recognize this is what it's supposed to be. I think he attacked that point very heavily. And so, not to say that there's not enough rappers doing it, but obviously when it's a popular rapper doing it, is for some reason always heard, you know? So I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's really hard just nowadays to just put out 10s, because there's so many other things. But obviously he writes all of his own music. He doesn't have a team that does it. All of his creative ideas always come to light. And if you listen to it enough, you'll really understand it. And I also think that this was one of those albums that didn't immediately go over your head. So if anybody felt like it went over their head, I think they were listening for more than they should have.
Yeah.
So
I also want to get this one last thing in. Like, I also feel like that when it comes to production wise, I feel like he's the top tier. Like Cole, you're not gonna get much now. I would say, like, I don't know, but I have to look at the credit for the offseason, but most of the time it used to be Cole production was kind of limited. Drake was gonna stick to 40. Kendrick
Cole makes a lot of his own stuff.
Yeah, and he should probably stop. And I just think that Kendrick is one of the dudes. He got Pharrell. He pulling from everybody, and I like that. Pull from other people. Like Cole gotta stop making his own beats sometimes, because sometimes Cole make me miss Elite.
Wait a minute. The off season is a mixture of different producers.
He can't be talking about the off season.
No, but I said I didn't say those. I said I haven't checked the off season.
I said we can't talk about the off season, guys.
No, I'm just saying.
No, for comparison's sake.
Production. The
off
season is
No.
full of a lot of different producers, and it's not mostly a Kendrick. I mean, not Kendrick, but not mostly a J. Cole produced album. But, anyways, so I'm gonna read some of the reviews of like what was said about the album. Mostly good things. Most people have given it like, one less star than or whatever. So 4 out of 5, 6 out of 7, 9 out of 10. So some of the reviews, this one's from Clash. Enjoyed the album, saying Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is one of the most profound, complex, revelatory statements, yet a double album fueled by sonic ambition that will the will to communicate and Kendrick's staunch refusal to walk the easy path. Okay. One of my favorites is, while not always an easy listen, the album shows more of its intention as it goes and ultimately makes sense as the next logical step forward in Lamar's increasingly multi-dimensional artistic evolution. That was from Fred Thomas of All Music. And one of the more critical on the mixed reviews side, we got John Caramanica of the New York Times opined, Mr. Morale is probably Lamar's least tonally consistent work, rangy and structurally erratic, full of mid-song beat switches, sorrowful piano, and a few moments of dead air. All right. So my feeling of the album, I didn't agree with everything that he did on there. But ultimately, I do love the album. It hit me. I would say I'm glad that being around the same age as Kendrick, it helps. But I'm glad that this is an album that's come out when I'm older versus like when I was younger or in high school. A lot of things would have probably went over my head. Just because I haven't experienced a lot of these things. It's his most introspective album to me. He's speaking of what he's gone through in these last few years and just his fame overall, his struggles, his struggle with morality. Like, I don't think this is all about God. Like, I didn't get that, Rell, where you're saying that, he's so heavily influenced by Kanye. I think we can, DMX talks about his struggles with God. Like, this is not something that is like a strictly Kanye thing. And, we've always had artists that talk about how morale and fame and, personal life all intersect. We always had Eminem who would say he's not a role model. And, Kendrick is expressing the same thing. I think the one thing that I remember saying when we were going through all this, through the pandemic, through the shootings, through this, the police, the riots, not even riots, but the protesting and everything, people were like, oh, we need Kendrick Lamar to say something. We need a Kendrick album.
I remember
Kendrick,
that very vividly. Yeah.
And I would say, why? Yeah. Why do we need them to say something? We know how we feel. We know what we think. We know all this. And I think Kendrick is saying the same thing, where it's And some of it is you guys can't think for yourselves. You don't need me to step up and do all this talking for you. You know, he literally says Tupac is dead. Think for yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's like we don't need to look to people, especially in this time period. Unfortunately, we try to opine on every little thing and have something to say, but sometimes what Kendrick is basically, I took a step back and watched, listened, and took in. I had a bunch of mixed emotions. I come from a place where like we're trying to uplift our community and everything, but I've seen dark shit in my community that is going on, that it's like it's hard to trust. So it's a lot of things that I like. My favorite song is Count Me Out. The song where the domestic we were talking about, we touched on it. A lot of people compared that to M's Kim, and I didn't get M's
Really?
Kim.
Not the same angle. Not nearly the same angle.
I got Baby Boy vibes.
You got Baby Boy
Yeah,
vibes.
100%.
I really got. The song is called "We Cry Together." The song is called "We Cry Together." Shout out to Poseidon.
Poseidon.
Yeah, what I actually got was Bobby Digital's RZA's off of RZA's album, Bobby Digital.
Liquid Swords. Is it off Liquid Swords?
No, that was Bobby Digital.
Oh, okay.
Bobby Digital.
Oh, okay.
It's literally, the song is literally called Domestic Violence. And the song literally goes, you ain't shit, your mama ain't shit. And he's like, fuck you, bitch. And they going back and forth. And it's literally, if you listen to anybody, go listen to that song, they're eerily similar. And all it tells me is, like, we talked about it, we all go through this shit. And it's just like, I listened to that song and I loved it. And then it triggered. It's so triggering that I'm just like, I can't continue to listen to that song.
That's gonna bring couples together. That song actually.
And then
it's gonna do the complete opposite.
The experiences I felt and I've been going through, it's very. Obviously he goes on a whole different level. He's rich and famous, so it's a whole nother level. But it's like I understand him more, and it's like I feel similarities to it. I do like Auntie Diaries. I hate the fact that it's so caught up, it's controversial, and it's so caught up in what he was saying, and it's missing the message he was relaying. And also the idea is like, you got to understand that this is the part where I hate. It's like, you got to come from, he came from the viewpoint of how he grew up and where he grew up and how we talk. All of that was said is exactly what I've been in that situation. I've been there. Like, that's how we've all been taught. Yeah. That's how we said, that's what I'm saying. And so he was using that as that viewpoint of like, this is how we talk. And I think people missed what he was trying to say.
Saying the F word coming up. Like, we had to learn that was.
You don't know how ignorant you are.
It's like, this is the problem I have with this is the problem I have with trying to do your artistry or just trying to say something. It's so taken by face value versus actually listening and trying to understand that. It's like, whoa, they just kept saying this, so he just turned me off to the message. And it's just like, just go for the message and see why he did that, because that's exactly how we talk.
Not to cut you off, Jesse, but it's, you know how you're saying it right now, it reminds me of the conversation that we had on this podcast when we talked about Dave Chappelle. Wow, it was just like taking shit for face value, not relaying and listening to the why he said that, like the digging deep into why he said that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
it reminded me of something you literally said the same shit about Dave.
And exactly, like, so my thing is like, you missed the whole song and the message that he was trying to put out there, because he didn't say it in a way that you liked. But it has to be gritty. It has to be ugly, because that opens our eyes now. That's how we used to talk. That's how we used to be. You know what I'm saying? How disgusting is that? How terrible is that? How could we want to be free and we not allowing people to be free amongst our own community? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we move forward?
Yeah, we hold our own. We hold our own. Like, I mean, so like, I mean, not to cut you off, but his conflict that he had with the culture where even from the heart, where like you were just several mentions that like we say fuck calling, you know, fuck trauma and calling it culture or some shit like that, unprocessed trauma and calling it culture, like he just the love hate relationship that you have to have even when you're black, you know, just like there's certain things that, you know, a part of the culture that just comes along with it, and it's like you how long do you unlearn, you know, long traumas that nobody even taught you that you even had to unlearn these things, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're 33 and you're 35 learning about, you know, depression and healing and all this other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these conversations weren't had in black homes. Like, I couldn't go to my mom at 17 years old and tell her that I wasn't feeling comfortable or feeling like myself. So it's all like just you know, perspective, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, just all the, what he was talking on, just on that message, just like, you know, it just plays to that, just with the culture and everything. It just, the culture, like I said, the culture it's bigger than us, and it's a lot of shit, and especially when it comes to that song where we have, even the song Father Time. You know, I had my father in my life.
Crazy.
And when not was the only dad I know. Y'all know Dorian. So it's like, so he's my only father I know. But even then, there's still things that you still like, damn, like, you know, like you hear people, you hear shit, you know, you're like, damn, I didn't know, or we're like, damn, you know, or this may. So this song, Father Time alone, if you don't feel it, you will want to understand that maybe somebody could feel this way about their son to try to be a better father, you know, than they were before.
Yeah. So I mean, that one, I love how he did his spin on, you know, on the last song. I believe you, Kevin, you brought it up, Mother, or Rell, you brought it up. But it's like that song where he talks about generational trauma and how he was able to do his part in, like, you know, helping it being removed throughout family. And unfortunately, it can hit in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. Even in the sense of, like, he's telling a story like, you didn't believe me when I said no, this didn't happen. But because of your trauma and what you've been through, you couldn't believe me. Even, and that's the opposite of what we usually hear is, oh, because of the trauma and everything, we didn't believe that this was actually happening. We dismissed it. And for that to come from a perspective opposite of that, kind of, sort of, it's like, you know, it's what we've been through can skew how people view things, and it sucks. And I just thought, you know, overall, if I'm going to give it a number, I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. I do agree with, like, you know, the structuring is kind of sporadic. It is a little, you know, but it is in the sense of, like, it's nowhere near this, but like Yeezus vibes, right? Where he's just expressing himself and just putting out and using how he can express his anger, his emotion, all this stuff. And, you know, Kendrick is putting that to music, and it will come sporadic, but that is the mind. And so that's why I still put it up there. I do think when the songs are amazing, I think they're out of this world. And the ones that he misses on, it's not that far off. He's just probably needed a little more tweaking. Or it's just, you know, hey, it's just that's how it comes out. I do like the critique that you said, Clips, with the spoken word. And what I would say to that person is, which has actually been one of Kendrick Lamar's biggest, like, critiques from people, especially people that listen to Kendrick Lamar from the beginning until now, is that they don't like he's going to that jazzy sound more, or he's doing that spoken word more. But I would say he's been doing that. Yeah, you know, he's been doing it since Section 80. It started with a song on Section 80, but, you know, he's been doing that for a while now. So what I would say is you just got to ride with the artist. And, you know, if you're looking for something different from that, then, you know, there's other artists that do their thing. But Kendrick is steadily, he said since To Pimp a Butterfly, he's always wanted to do an album that is a jazz poetic album. So he hasn't gone fully into it, but he's steadily been going towards that way.
All right. So everybody knows context. I'm not the biggest K. Dot fan, but for me, Why are you making that face? I don't dislike his music. I just
don't like when you have to start a conversation like that. You know, you can just start with other stuff. You know, you can start with something else.
Y'all three hit it out the park. So like, I'm glad y'all gave me the last leg because my opinion's gonna be a lot different than y'all opinions because y'all, each one of y'all, even you, Rell, said shit where it was like, oh, I didn't think about that. So for me, I listened maybe like 4 or 5 times. I had a funny story, but I'm gonna just leave it for another time.
Before you go, can I ask you this? Is Carolyn a K-Dot fan?
No, not like that either. But I listened to it. And for somebody like me who, you know, only listen to Kendrick albums and then listen to one or two times and then pull the songs that he likes from it and probably not listen to the album again. This is probably my favorite Kendrick album. I almost want to say kind of by far, because it has some of the stuff that I like from Damn. It's a mixture of Damn, Pimp a Butterfly, and Good Kid, Mad City. It's like it's all of the. To me, it's like a blended of you. It has songs for all 3 of those albums.
Oh, don't forget Untitled. Untitled.
I didn't listen to Untitled like that, so that's probably that's probably a new thing. But from what I got out of it, it has some Good Kid, Mad City in there, and it definitely has some Damn in there. And for me, like obviously we talked about club bangers and stuff you could play in your car, but like, I brought up the numbers, like for Kendrick to literally get that amount of people to listen to it in the first week and not have any songs that are radio, quote unquote radio playable, which I do think there's radio songs, like the song with Blast on there. You can play that on radio. That shit slaps. I'm surprised that you don't hear that on radio, but I don't listen to radio, so maybe it is.
It'll be a Red Dad and Savior will be a bop. There's some on here, and Rell brought up. Out would be
there's some on, like there's some really like I said, that's the Damn of the album. Like there's some really cool standout songs that I really like, and I like that Blast got that highlight because I feel like he's still a young up and coming artist, and a lot of people still haven't really tapped into him and his sound like that. Because when me and Clips was talking about it, I was like, Clips' hair remind me of Blast, and I've been listening to a whole lot of Blast, so I was just like, oh man,
Blast got to switch up the sound just a little bit though.
He does though, but I was telling somebody this.
Never tell Ty Dolla $ign to do that.
you kiss my motherfucking ass, Clips, nigga. If you in there, first off,
I just jump in?
Hold on. Did you listen to Ty Dolla $ign? That Ty Dolla $ign.
That was a good one.
That
Party Next Door too. Space G got it too. Party
if
too.
You listen to Ty Dolla $ign with Ty Dolla $ign and friends. That's a good ass sound. It's 7 different sounds. Clips, you kiss my ass.
I will say this. Can I just jump in? Clips, you brought up Purple Hearts. I'm so, like, that was such a like. I didn't expect a feature from Ghostface.
Yeah,
and Ghostface is one of my favorite rappers of all time, and he fucking killed it again. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, so I agree with the Blast Day. Blast is literally it's Memorial Day weekend. I've been seeing a whole lot of people that I follow on social out here in Vegas at the beach clubs. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I'm spying on y'all. I'm not spying. You're on my stories. I'm watching y'all. By the way, shout out to CJ who's out here. We got to get you on the pod one day. But that's his songs are literally beach club vibes. Like they're literally you go to a kickback LA kickback vibe. That's all Blast kind of music is. But Rell, you're right. It's literally the same 3 songs, but it's cool
like
though.
Blast puts out the original, the remix,
it's cool
and the unedited version.
That's all I need. But
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm almost done. Like I said, my standout song, Rell already touched on one of my favorite that you guys haven't touched on. Father Time is one of my favorite songs. Mm-hmm. Like from the first time, my first listen, I was like, okay, this is one of the ones I'm really I really like. And then obviously I talked about the Blast track, Purple Hearts, which we talked about as well. Silent Hill. I don't think any of you guys brought up that one with Kodak. That was probably one of Kodak's best verses I've heard. I don't listen to Kodak like that neither.
Go back.
Okay, so
you gotta go back. Sniper
okay,
Gang.
that's one of the ones. That's one of the best Kodak verses I've heard.
I don't listen to Kodak either, so
okay. Well, here's the thing: both of y'all do. You either go back and get you all Kodak. I'm talking about Rolling Deep.
Like Kodak.
Kodak really on the level that he just don't get the shine because of all the extra shit. But but Kodak, I'm telling you.
Hey, Rell, what's all the extra shit though? You like how he just
lands
his plane and just doesn't bring up shit.
All act like every nigga just supposed to be this cookie cutter J. Cole. Some niggas like to drink lean. Some niggas like to drink lean and tow pistols. That's his life. You know.
Push already said.
That's the problem I have.
Pusha said, sometimes I wish my fan base was more like J. Cole's. But Dope Boys gotta be the man like they know.
That is way different than what Kodak Black did. That is beyond different.
Nah, Jesse, you gotta go get you, and you too, Kev. You gotta listen to Kodak. You can listen to Kodak from Kev, get you some Kodak in you, Kev. You like some Kodak.
That's Kodak cool.
Kodak likes to do.
Hey, Kodak cool.
I'm sure he is. I'm just not tapping in like that. But like to put a bow on this, I'm with you guys. This is, like I said, probably my favorite Kendrick project as a whole. There's obviously more songs that I relate to, and other songs from other projects that I really, really like. But as a whole, as like a whole project, and I obviously now, now I'm gonna be honest. Let's be honest. Now that I'm more aware of mental health, and you know, now that I see a therapist myself, the fact that he touched on mental health and therapy in the album like really spoke to me. So like it really stands out to me. But yeah, I'm with Jessie. I'm around like 8.5, 8. I think
way too low.
I would, like I said, for me, I don't, you know, I don't think I'll go back and listen to the whole album as a whole, but I'll definitely have standout tracks that I'll listen to, that I'll pull from, and I'll just listen to from time to time again. By the way, so this was the story I was going to tell. So in preparation for this pod, I was listening to it right after I was done with my podcast. Right, I listened to like 4 hours pods. I got done with work. I was on the freeway, and I was on the way to go pick up Lennox. Right, so I picked her from daycare, and she sits. I put her in the car or whatever, and the first track that comes on while she's in the car is a fucking domestic violence track. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, nigga. I immediately turned it. But I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this with my daughters in the car. I can't listen to this song right now. What? It's like all the other songs was cool.
Nigga,
like Father Time just came on.
Nigga, we was in the car with your old lady and your baby, and you played Throat Baby one time.
That's not true. That is the farthest from truth. That is the cap. But that's the first. I literally strap her in the thing, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm about to finish. Keep listening to the Kendrick, and then that's the first song that comes on. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this right now. So it took me a while to finally listen to the whole album like all at once, because that happened, and as I thought it was funny, I also thought I was an awful parent at the time.
I don't think she understands what's going on.
She doesn't, but it doesn't matter.
But here's the look. I agree. Partially, but I think we make the mistake when we say I don't think they understand.
I mean, she not gonna be in preschool telling motherfucker, fuck you, nigga, fuck you, bitch.
It was just out of all the whole songs that, like, again, I strap her in and I just put on I start my car, and that's the first thing that comes.
Yeah, you don't want to play it, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta kind of like, in order for something like that to really set in stone, she gotta kind of be seeing that shit at home, and I highly doubt that that's the kind of energy.
Very true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like one song, I'm not gonna say play it for you. Skip the track, but I'm talking about like, you know, and it's
I just turned it off.
Yeah,
I just went back to listen to.
Turn off that other bullshit that you be listening to while you at it.
I told you I listen to podcasts.
Every time I get in your car, I be wanting to get the aux cord, bro.
Okay, you want to talk about cars right now? Anyway, does anybody want to talk about
to my nigga?
Rell can say anything, but when I have a clap back, he gets all upset.
No, that's
wow.
That was foul.
That
was foul. You're supposed to be the Yeah, every motherfucking right. So fucking.
Oh
bad.
my God!
That was fucking bad.
Wow. Kev, you're getting canceled.
Oh man.
And Kev says he's the nicest guy on the podcast. This is crazy.
Exactly. He just murdered a man.
Someone please call 911.
Oh man. I think we can close it out right here. But before we do that, I did want to talk a little more music and more, open it up. So we'll do that another day. We got plenty of time to do that. I do have an idea though, because I was listening to a podcast and it's a podcast that rates bad movies and sees if it's a bad movie or not. Kev knows this one, which is called Cinephobe. Anybody that wants to listen to it, it's actually pretty funny. They were doing Wild Wild West, which at the end they call it Followphobe. They all followed it, as in they all enjoyed the movie, no matter what. And then they played Will Smith's Wild Wild West at the end. So I was like, man, I kind of feel like listening to the song. So I go to my Spotify and I start to play the song, and it's not from the soundtrack that the song is, it's from Millennials. And so the next song comes on Millennials, and I was like, I have never in my life ever tried to listen to a Will Smith album after his.
I have.
Yeah. And so I was listening to it, and it wasn't terrible. I'll say this: Will has always got the corny. Has always been considered a corny. Not in the sense that he's like he gives off corny. It's just he never came off as the hard dude. You know what I mean? So he was the goofy.
He's a nice guy.
He was a goofy dude, right? But
Lost and found.
He's never.
Hey, Clips. Nah, that's my album. Anyway, continue, dog.
He's always like it was, and you listen to the album, like Will always has lyrics, and it's heavily. So what I want to say is, I want to do a podcast episode every month where we listen to an album that we most likely did not, and with no Kodak Black, because I refuse to listen to it.
Wow.
So you're gonna listen to Logic?
Yeah. I've listened to Logic.
I listen to
Logic. I'm talking about somebody that's just way off your radar. Poor man. This is probably hard for you, Clips, because you listen to everything. But somebody like we could introduce an album way off the radar. Somebody that didn't get no love, probably did one album and never did anything ever again.
Does Bizarre from D12 have a solo album?
We can listen to
Yes.
And I want us.
I'm sure Rell's listened to that album. By the way,
I've listened to that album. It's bizarre.
God, you rather listen to Bizarre than Kodak Black?
I was gonna say it's Kodak Black levels, and I don't. It's like, but I want to do a thing where we listen to somebody that's way off the radar. We can do that. We can do your boy from what was Nelly's group called again?
St. Lunatics.
Yeah. Are you talking about Murphy Lee?
Murphy
Rell,
Lee?
my bro, man. Hey, man, they said that was foul, bro. So my bad. I didn't know I was out of bounds. My bad.
You should have. I spit at my camera. My bad. I had the camera.
Nigga came back in the shadow.
So Rell, I don't know where you jump back in at, but what I was saying is I was suggesting us listening to an album of an artist that's like way off the radar. Like we brought up Murphy Lee, brought up Bizarre. We can listen to what's his name's album off of Jay-Z's boy. I actually listened to his album.
Memphis Bleak.
I'm just saying something way off the radar. My suggestion
Clips can curate a list of albums that he thinks are mid, and we can listen to them and decipher if they're mid or not. We can start with Will Smith, Lost and Found.
Or Will Eddie.
Hey, I like that album though.
I like that album too. But they don't want to hear me. Well, they don't want to hear it though. They don't want to hear it though, Clips.
All right, we can do
that
this.
shit is a coaster in my house.
Why don't we do
They don't
this?
want to hear it. Fucking Lost and Found. Lost and Found is the shit.
Why don't we just
Y'all
do a
niggas
whole
hate,
Will
man.
Smith catalog? Why don't we just do all of Will Smith's music? Let's do a whole catalog and during his stardom. We can do
doing
it.
a Will Smith rap section because I'm not doing it,
nigga. First ever rap Grammy, nigga. First ever rap Grammy.
And that's really unfortunate.
That would be
and
fun,
Push
though.
said it. Remember when Will Smith won the first Grammy?
Mhm.
He said it in the song.
Wait, what did he say after that though? It's
very unfortunate that Will Smith was
Exactly.
when you look at the history of
See, we're
hip
not
hop
asking that question.
and who was able to curate the first
Ever rap Grammy.
that parents on the
Let's talk about the
parents
only
just
reason
don't
why your ass
understand.
went to Miami.
Parents just don't understand was the reason why Grammy said I like that hip hop music.
Oh, but
The
Will
fuck
should
outta
have
here.
also won for Summertime.
Jesse, I think. By the way, Jesse, I think that's a great idea for a pod. We can do those.
I think it'll be fun.
That'd
I think it'll be fun. We could laugh. We could write down lyrics, quote them. There's some things. He has a song.
Who's a
on,
better
man.
rapper, Will
With
Smith or
Lil'
Jack
Kim.
Harlow?
He has a song.
Okay.
Hey, Millennials.
I think Will Smith. I think Will Smith better than Jack
I'll
Harlow.
tell you this: Millennium better than Jack Harlow's album. I'll tell you right now.
No,
Go listen to
Willie
Millennium.
Style is fucking fire.
Oh, by the way, so to end the pod, let's end this pod off this, and then we can get out of here. Why Brandy do that to Jack Harlow?
'Cause he
Why
brought
Brandy
up
do
the
that?
name.
I know, but why she burn him like that? Like
no, but Jesse, the whole
that
full
one
context of the
song
interview,
was better than any
It wa-
song
it
on
wasn't
Jack
her-
Harlow's album.
it
That
wasn't her
one
fault.
freestyle was better.
it wasn't his fault though.
No, he didn't
It
know who
wasn't.
she was.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
wasn't. But it wasn't
saying-
his fault.
No, I
though.
get it. I know, but I'm saying
no,
That's
why
his
she
fault.
no,
why
that's
she torch
Rosenberg's
him like
fault
that
and
though? Why
Ebro's fault.
she torch him like that?
But no,
Okay,
he
check this out.
didn't know they were siblings. But also, they played a song, and he was just like, first off, let me be honest with you, who's spinning Brandy in 2022? And you know what I'm saying? And if you're not in those, no.
First off, you're wrong because her last album, B7, was fucking fire. Secondly,
Yeah.
that's
No.
his fault. He can't be running around here talking about I love music, I'm all this shit.
No,
And
you're
don't
right.
know-
I hate Jack Harlow. I'm just saying.
I think
I
from the last 6 pods, we know you hate Jack Harlow.
But I'm
It's
just
very
saying the
prevalent.
interviewer fucked him up with how they set him up. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm
Fuck Jack
saying is
Just
that
ask him to listen to a song.
all
he
I ask for
lied and
Brandy,
said it was Mace.
all I ask, if Jack Harlow's a good spirit, he will allow Brandy to put that song on DSPs because I need that song on the playlist because all you can listen to right now is on YouTube.
That shit probably get more spins than his shit actually. That shit was better than his shit. His whole album.
That shit was dope. All right, thank you guys for listening, Clips. We always appreciate you coming by and dropping your knowledge, man. I feel like I was smarter. I can't believe you and maybe 12 other people, me and you listened to fucking Lost and Found. I can't believe you did that. That was fucking you dug deep.
Willow, Jaden, Clips, Kevin, Jada Pinkett. I just named the 7 niggas that listen to that fucking album.
Wait a minute. That's what Will
Oh, bro,
Smith
you a
was-
hater.
He
Will
still
Smith
is
was at
high.
the top of his game.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Jarrell was Rell was dancing to Switch when that shit was popping in middle school.
Right.
Shut up, Rell.
This nigga's
Shut
a
your
liar,
ass up.
bro.
Nigga, switch.
King Cap. King Cap. All right, but thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys. We're those Millennials and Clips, and we're out.